Welcome back. It is our third day together, our third morning, and I am so happy to be here again with you. Well, the last 2 days have been incredible. If you missed them, don't worry. You can go back and watch them, and I highly recommend that you do. But if you don't have time, stick with us today because you're going to gain so much value out of what we're going to talk about today. So we are continuing the conversation of aligning our faith with our business so that we can set the foundational principles to grow a business that allows us to not just make 5K, 10K or more months, but it is also so that we can make kingdom impact through our business, allowing God to use our business as his mission field. So thanks so much for being here. Okay, so we have talked about a lot the last 2 days. And if you've joined us before, you've already heard the parable. But just to catch everybody up, and I do have my water today. My throat was a bit dry yesterday. So for those of you that weren't here, we're going to catch you up a little bit on this parable. So if you've heard of the parable of the talents, go ahead and drop talents below. Let me know. Also, I love finding out who is here and what profession you're in. So if you give yourself a particular title, will you just drop that title below? Besides, you'll never know. You never know who's watching and who might be like, oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that. I want to know more. Or maybe they're looking for somebody who does exactly what you do. Go ahead and share that. If you have like an I help statement or something, go ahead and drop that too. Like, let's share the love here, right? Peruse the comments, get to know each other. That's what this is about. Like, entrepreneurship should not be lonely, right? Okay. So we have been studying the parable of the talents. And in this parable, we're told about a man, a wealthy businessman, probably. He was a wealthy man. He had servant. He was essentially leaving to go on a trip. And while he's gone, he is asking his servants to take care of his talents, his money, while he is off on his trip. Okay, so each one of them have different skills and abilities. So he gives, I think, the first one 3, the next 2, and the next one, or maybe it's 5, 3. I don't have it all in front of me right now. Yes, 5 talents, 2 talents, and then the last one, 1 talent. But he gives them these talents to keep track of, right? And so he goes on his trip and he comes back to collect his money. And he is so pleased with the first 2 servants because when he came back, he learns that they invested the money and they doubled it essentially. So he's pleased with their work. And as a thank you, essentially, he rewards them. And then the third one, when he goes to collect from the third one, the third guy is so pleased. He's proud of himself and he gives the master this money, but the master's not pleased. The master isn't pleased because he specifically said you could have at least gained interest on this, meaning like depositing it somewhere to grow interest. So he's not pleased with the third servant's actions, even though that servant kept the money safe, right? He buried it, kept it safe. He didn't grow the master's money. And so we have learned so much through this parable. Let me just go over some of the stuff. We talked about stewardship of everything God gives us, including the people that we run into or the people that we're serving in our business, but also the talent, skills, and abilities that he gives us. And we talked about investment and growth and how God expects us to not bury these gifts or talents, but to instead invest in them and grow them in different ways. We talked about accountability, how we are accountable to God and we are accountable to the people that we serve, just like in this parable. Yesterday was pretty deep. We talked about fear as a barrier. Now, this third servant, he buried the talents of his master, and he might have buried it for different reasons. We don't know exactly. But what he didn't do was invest it. So he buried it to keep it safe, whether that's to keep it safe from him accidentally losing it or from it being stolen. He didn't take the risk. And because he didn't do that, he wasn't able to give to his master more than, right? It couldn't have grown. And so that fear essentially held him back. And it didn't just hold him back, it held his master back. Okay. And then we also talked about faithful and diligent work and how we are to persevere and continue on in work, even when it's hard, serving God in our work, in our business, and not just people. We serve the people through serving the Lord. So to be faithful and diligent in our work, that God is going to be faithful to us. So when times get hard, we continue on because we can trust in his promises. So today we're moving on. We're talking about our last two things. The first is risk management. And the last one is multiplication and impact. So for risk management, that master, right? The master rebuked that third servant. And because he did that, that indicates to us that avoidance of risk, like us avoiding risk at the expense of growth, is not tolerable. So again, this man buried those things. And instead of him risking the opportunity to grow for his master, he decided to avoid the risk. And so as entrepreneurs, we have to find this balance between risk and opportunity, between caution and innovation. Now, I have an example of this. I think a lot of us do as business owners. We have these examples of innovating or risking to gain more, to grow more, right? But two examples I'm going to share with you. The first is, some of you have been here for a while, and you knew my community before as Wake Pray Slay. And I made this movement back in March to rebrand everything into the productive and profitable mom. And over time, it's rebranded more into the productive and profitable business community. And everything now is coming from that. But I'll tell you what, it was a scary move. It was scary. And I don't know if you've ever rebranded. Like not everything is different, but like the core is still there. But what people knew about me and what I was known for, when you said Wake Pray Slay, people knew who I was, right? And now what is this productive and profitable, right? But I had to risk even the possibility of losing people in my community in order to show up in alignment for the greatness that I knew God was going to give me, because he gave me this so I can be faithful. I can trust that he is faithful, right? And so that's one example. I was risking my current audience. And I also risked and had a momentary setback in business because things were changing. And through that change, there was a lot of creation as well. A lot of things even changed on my back end. And so in the back end of business, gotta be careful with what you say in social. All right. Can I get a name in? No, just joking. Okay. But I had to risk slowing down to speed up. And so as a result, my income kind of decreased a little bit during that time period. And that was a risk I was willing to make in order to have the growth that I knew I would have if I was obedient to Christ. Okay. The other thing is my signature program, the Magnetic Sisterhood, was the Magnetic Sisterhood 5K Club. Okay. So even that has been revamped and changed numerous times. And I'll tell you, that has been like I don't even know the of me. if you get what I'm saying. Like, I have grown and changed so much as an entrepreneur, and working more and more and more with my clients and learning more about strategies that applies to different people and their businesses. Like, I couldn't leave the program how it was because it would no longer serve the right people. And so I had to continue innovating, and I am still continuing to do so. But in saying that, like, there's a lot of risk again involved with that. What if my current clients that were in the program didn't like it? Well, I had to risk refunding them the money, right? I had to take that risk and weigh it for what I knew could be. And I thought, it's definitely worth it. It's worth it. Okay. That is taking a calculated risk. So things are not always easy, but we can weigh the options and we can decide, is fear holding me back? Or are these things that I'm being cautious about, are these things that could happen and I could maybe plan for, and then take the risk because I know it's going to be fruitful, or I have a high, like I am highly hopeful it's going to be fruitful, right? Like we're not going to jump into things blindly because he doesn't want us to. But we are not to shy away. We're not to shy away from calculated risks, especially those that align with our business vision and our goals. Hopefully you didn't hear anything when I just muted myself. Okay. So yes, don't shy away from those calculated risks, even if that means that there's going to be a period of hard work in order to get those bigger things. Okay. So that lesson there, again, was risk management. Okay. We can't avoid the risk because of fear. And again, revisiting yesterday on the fear and limiting beliefs, please do that. It is so valuable. Okay. So, but let's move on now into this second lesson, and that is multiplication and impact. Okay. The parable emphasizes over and over again, like we've talked about this, that we are to multiply our talents and not just preserve them. Okay. If the master took 20 years to come back and the guy still had the same amount of money, like it doesn't do him any good anyway because of inflation, right? The same works with our skills, our abilities, our talents and gifts that God gives us. If we're just going to preserve them and keep them as they are, right? In 6 months from now, a year, 10 years from now, we are not going to be fruitful at all because we haven't invested in our skills. We haven't grown. So it is important that we multiply our talents. Okay. We should aim for growth that extends beyond ourselves as well. We need to strive to create a business that positively impacts our customers, clients, and the people that God is bringing into our surroundings or even our communities, right? So when we are looking at our products and services too, we need to look at those and we need to think, okay, what about these are helping people and can we enrich this? Okay, this kind of ties into that innovation. Can we enrich this? Can we create more of an impact here so that we can multiply the results for people or so we can affect more people and multiply in that way? Okay, how can we positively impact more people? That question is so important to have on your mind. And this has been a huge lesson for me. So if you've seen over the past month and a half or so, I've been working really hard to grow this apprenticeship program. And I've never done anything like this before. It has been on my mind since last November, talking to a few of my accountability partners back then, like, what could this look like? And then finally, one of my old coaches, I stumbled across one of her posts and that she had done it. I'm like, what? So I reached out and asked a little bit about her process. And so then it was like, okay, Lord, I'm really feeling like now's the time. And it was risky. It was risky to create an apprenticeship program. It still is risky. Like I went through creating a contract and an application. We went through interviews and I have 4 beautiful women that are now working with me, but it is a risk because it's an apprenticeship. I also owe them training. They're working for me, learning behind the scenes skills. They're learning my systems on the back end. That's risky because if they don't follow through, right, then I'm going to be left hanging and they're going to have all of my stuff, which really, I guess it's not a big deal. I don't mind sharing, but my time is invested in this. My time is invested in them. So in saying that, the apprenticeship program, trusting these women with certain responsibilities in my business is very risky. But I'll tell you what, it is going to be so worth it. I feel like it's already worth it. Oh man, I was going to see if my notes were in front of me because we had our second team meeting the other day and it started off with like wins, like let me hear what's going well, your ahas. And all of them said, if this was it, like, this is awesome. Seeing how you use XYZ in the background, seeing how you make this system, seeing that flow, this is so helpful. Another woman yesterday who's been in my community for a long time, a couple years, like through the growth that I'd had, she's been there with me the whole time, and she's serving on the apprenticeship team, and it's so beautiful and exciting. But even she wrote me a message yesterday, just like thanking me, like how she sees now the bigger picture that she was missing. That is a huge win. That is impact, because I know that then she's going to take that and launch her coaching program, and then have this incredible impact on so many other people, right? So when we're thinking about multiplication and impact, it's not just multiplying our profits, it's multiplying our skill sets outside of just us. It's multiplying them for the kingdom. How can we help us? How can we help our clients? And how can we help bigger ways? Bigger ways. Okay? That's not just tithing. How can we help in bigger, more impactful ways? So I want to encourage you to think about your business. What are some things that you could do to create more of that impact? Okay? And thinking about your skills and your abilities right now, are you in a season of preserving? And it's okay to take seasons of like being chill, right? And then seasons of really hard growth or massive growth. Doesn't have to be hard. Okay, growth. But how long have you been in this season? Have you been here too long and like now it's turning into jelly or like a hard something that's preserved? Is it calcifying? You like that? All right. So be thinking about those things. Okay. Think greater. Think greater. You are so, you know what you know. I don't know what you know. And I'm saying that because like our abilities, strengths, skills, weaknesses, they're all different. And so I just want to encourage you. Like somebody needs to see your behind the scenes. Somebody needs you to mentor them in some capacity. And it doesn't have to be like what you do for work. How else could you mentor somebody? How else could you grow and impact other people through what you know? Besides just, for pay, right? As a client or customer. So in essence, if you haven't read this parable, like don't just take it from me. Okay, go and read the parable. It's in Matthew. What was it? Matthew. Oh my goodness. It's over there. It's my first one. I want to say it's Matthew 13. I'm probably totally wrong. I don't want to get, but it's right there on that binder. Anyway, so just look up parable of the talents and it'll pop up. It's in Matthew. So anyway, this parable is incredible because it has so much packed into this little paragraph. And these are foundational pieces that we need to align our business decisions on, our investments of time or money. We need to align all these things to these principles. So the parable teaches entrepreneurs to embrace our talents and our resources with gratitude, to use them strategically, and to diligently work towards growth and impact. I love it. Seeking God's guidance and being open to taking faith-filled steps that honor our unique God-given abilities will contribute to a flourishing business. It will. If you need to hear my story of leaving hustle culture, shoot me a DM. And I will tell you, I felt like things were going good, but they weren't going to last. And taking a massive step back, risk, right? Allowing God to refine me. The journey has been tenfold better. Okay. So if you need to hear that story, let me know and I will definitely share it with you. So remember, this entrepreneurial journey is not only about personal success, but it is about being a faithful steward of what God has given us and has entrusted to us. So as I mentioned yesterday, the sales reboot begins September 12th. So just shy of 2 weeks away. So if you are ready to build upon this foundation that we've been talking about so that you can master the skills necessary to build the business that you desire, to make 5K, 10K or more, whatever that money amount is to you, because it's different for everybody. Okay. In order for you to do that and to create the kingdom impact that you want inside of your business, I want to invite you to join us in the Sales Reboot. This is a 6-week mastermind experience that has coaching calls, work sessions, training modules, all designed to give you ultimate clarity in your offers to help you master the art of attracting and engaging the right people. That's key, the right people. How many of you struggle with lead generation? Okay, that's what we're talking about here. And to help you create a consistent sales strategy. So this isn't just about helping you achieve a monetary goal. A sales strategy allows you to create consistency over time. Consistency. It would feel so much better to know about how much you're going to make every month, right? Than to guess or put a hope in the air or wait for a launch. Okay. So we want to have a sales strategy in place for you so that you can make consistent income over time, among other things. So if you are ready to wake up to a business that excites you and motivates you and gets you pumped up to hop to your computer, if you are ready to take on the role of CEO, like truly taking on that role to establish yourself as the one, and I like to say the one that people are banging on the doors to work with, like, give me your wait list. If that's you, if that's what you want, I know that's what I want. And if you are done trying to figure it out alone, done spinning your wheels, and you want to work alongside a coach, a business coach, I want to say a master business coach who is skilled in marketing and productivity systems, this 6-week intensive is for you, my friend. And I'm so excited to welcome you in. So all of what we've covered in this series really creates that foundation and the strong principles to operate your business by, but the strategy of what takes place next is what takes place next. All the strategy, that's what's going to get you the things, right? That's what's going to help you unlock the doors to talking to the right people, to unlocking the doors to more conversations with people that are ready, okay? Giving you more sales. All of that happens inside of the reboot. And I highly encourage you to join us. We do start September 12th. Please drop the word sales for more info or just shoot me a message. Let's chat about it. It is such an exciting program. I'm super pumped about it. Like, I am so pumped. I wish like right now you could see the inside of the program. It's going to be phenomenal. Anyway, I want to say again, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for entrusting me with this part of your morning and your day. It has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure getting to be with you for 3 days in a row here on the public profile. Again, if you want to be in closer proximity to other people that are probably like you, very like-minded entrepreneurs working to grow their online business, wanting to learn productivity and marketing systems, you need to come join us inside of Productive and Profitable. We would love to have you. If you need that, just drop PPB, Productive Profitable Business, in the comments, or just say invite, please, whatever. Go to my link. It's there too. It's everywhere. It's everywhere you want to be. I think that's the MasterCard commercial. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much. We will see you next time. Bye.